Hello, welcome to Home Study. This is a support video. What it's about is just to explain what home study is, how it's going to support you with your studies at Solihull College, and just outline some of the expectations we have in terms of home study. And effectively, it's a few slides just to answer a few questions and try and point out a few tips, hints and tricks, so on and so forth, and explain actually what home study means. So, first question, why? Why home study? So, as part of your commitment to study the RQF side of your apprenticeship or your full-time course, if you're not in an apprenticeship, this includes you. You will need to dedicate a number of personal hours towards your study in order to pass the course. Okay, and if you really want that distinction, it's more hours. What you won't do is very difficult to do. You're studying A level. Okay, some of you are hoping or aspiring to go to university. Others aspiring to move up the corporate ladder, so to speak, in terms of your apprenticeship within the construction environment. So it's crucial that you get as high grades as possible. So what we expect is that there'll be a number of hours, 2, 3, maybe 4 hours a week, which we would expect a regular student to be committing to, and not just relying on what happens at college. Okay, so if you're only studying a subject for, say, 2.5 hours in a week, that's not enough to get you through the course on that particular unit. Okay, you're going to need to commit to a little bit of extra study time. So how does it work? Okay, so what you can see here is the title slide. This is the title slide here. We can see this is the title slide. This is going to be a regular occurrence. These will be released generally when we release a video lecture or we deliver something in the classroom. There will be, from time to time or frequently, there will be a home study attached to it, of which, as I've explained, there will be additional study expected. So the title slide will give you precise information to what particular area of study you should focus upon, so a little bit of direction. So you'll notice the details here, the unit the study relates to, okay, and that's really important, so you know exactly what you're doing. Obviously, if we just say go and do some home study, well, what are you going to study? So we want to be a bit more focused, a bit more direct, a bit more exact on what you should actually go and study at that point on the course. Okay. The second one is the video or lecture that supports it. So, for example, you can see here that I do a lecture, an online lecture on conduction, convection, and radiation. That's a video session. It's called Session 2. It's available on YouTube. And this particular home study direction would say that you need to go and study conduction, convection, and radiation. The learning game is actually, this will be explained, well, it'll be indicated in the student book, the student learning book, C1. So you've got A, B, C. Those are the 3 parts to Unit 1. Okay, and C is all about human comfort. And C1 begins with heat. So what we're looking at is conduction, convection, radiation in terms of heat. And in the student book pages 60 and 61 are relative. Now, just a little something about the student book. The student book will not teach you all you need to know. Okay, it will only assist you. So if you were planning to just only read, understand, know, and be able to recall the information on pages 60 and 61, sadly that won't be enough to get you through the exam. Unit 1 is an external exam. You won't get through the exam with just what's written on those pages. It's very basic information, but it is very supportive. It does assist, but you really need to research a little bit deeper, in fact a lot deeper, into the subject matter. So the expected length of study time, I envisage 1 hour. So the expectation is that you prepare yourself at least 1 hour Before you come into college the following week or the week after, because there will be a test which will cover some areas of C1, the Learning Aim C1. So 1 hour, obviously more if you can. Don't go over the top. Don't spend hours and hours and hours poring over books and the internet all on conduction, convection, radiation, because then you're on a different course. You're on a course based on thermodynamics. And then it will say the tutor. So it might say Josh Hobday, it might say Steve Linton, whichever tutor is asking you to home study, the tutor name will be there. And if you've any queries or any questions relating to this particular home study session, then you will go and raise questions with that particular tutor. So why home study? So I think we've kind of guessed that it is important and it is an expectation. Now, as stated, there is an external exam to be undertaken of which only you can pass or fail. Okay, so there's not an awful lot we can do. Once you sit down in that exam, it's just you. Okay, there's no resubmission. There's no, oh, can I have a second? Can I have a third check? Can I? You've really got to prepare yourself for this. Okay, so to ensure your best chance of being successful, you will need additional study to support you. Okay, and that comes from you, the commitment from yourself. There will be frequent testing at the college based on delivered timetable study and home study. And this is to ensure you are engaging with both aspects of the course. So we deliver stuff, knowledge in class or online delivery through video lectures or narrated lectures. That is the delivered timetable study. And then the home study is the additional stuff that you really do need to look into. Not completing home study will leave you very vulnerable in securing an achievement of which the frequent testing will flag up any gaps in knowledge. So effectively the testing, the regular testing, will be based on stuff that we've already delivered, including home study that you should have undertaken. The test questions will be based on that. And if you're not able to answer certain questions and stuff, it may indicate that you're not doing home study. There are gaps in your knowledge and we need to discuss and understand why. Okay, so at this point we will discuss how we can best support you in preparing you for the exam and submissions. So be very careful of that. We're trying to support you. We're trying to add in an additional safety net where we're trying to flag up any gaps. And it could be because of not home studying, but that will quickly show. If you're not home studying, it will show very quickly and we will need to pick up the issues straight away. So how? Okay, so how am I going to do this? How will I home study? So the student workbook will only assist you in your studies, as I've pointed out, and it will not ensure you pass the exam if that is all you rely upon. So I've got some good news on that in the next slide. We strongly recommend that you widen your research beyond the study book with other books, internet, employer mentoring if you're lucky enough to be on an apprenticeship, or if you're just on full-time course, if you know people in the construction trade, quite often parents are in the trade, pick their brains about it, test their knowledge. And if you are researching, ask them questions. Simply, if there's words you don't understand or there's a context that you're not quite sure of, ask your mum or dad or ask your older brother or sister. Why not? Your younger brother and sister even. So books that will most definitely help you strengthen your knowledge are as follows. Now, the following books are absolutely brilliant. I mean, they are. I can't speak highly enough of them. They are the books you need. Now, this first one is perfect for Unit 1. It's a brilliant book. An absolute must, and I don't say that flippantly. I don't just say that. I don't get any commission out of the book. I am not Randall McCullen, and I wish I was, because I probably wouldn't be teaching. I'd probably be on a yacht by now. This will support studies from level 3. So the level you're on right now, it will support you through level 3, HNC, HND, into degree, no problem. Now, it is also critical for building service students, and because it goes into fluid mechanics, ventilation, air conditioning systems, it goes into the real in-depth science of the building service side of things. So the ventilation, the lighting, the acoustics, and so on and so forth. It really is such a strong book to have. Now, I've seen it somewhere on one of those websites where they sell stuff. I can't mention it. It's currently on edition 8. The picture I'm showing you there is 6th edition, and that's the edition I've got. And I'm the teacher. Trust me, 6th edition is fine. I'm not sure about the 5th or the 4th, but I've seen the 6th edition for as little as £3.50. You can buy that now for about £3.50. And there are lots of second-hand books websites about as well, so look for them as well. But an absolute steal at that money, it really is. Why pay £35 when you can get something which is 95% the same? The only thing that will be different in edition 8 would be the references to updated building regulations, cutting edge carbon requirements, carbon emission requirements, etc., etc. So trust me, 6th edition is absolutely fine, and you can get it for next to nothing. Get it, absolutely get it. Okay, the second one, now this is the mother of all books. All right, this is the Building Construction Handbook. Okay, and it's called Chudley and Greenose now. Those are the authors, but it used to be just Roy Chudley. And this is the book you must also add to your personal library, and it really does cover everything. It covers everything from the inception of a project. It covers the construction phase plan, the desktop surveys, borehole logs, determining foundation, the planning process. It covers all of that. It goes all the way through the foundations, as in the substructure. It goes through to superstructure, so everything that you can see above ground. It covers the finishing, the first fix, the second fix, the third fix, right through to the very end, where what we talk about facilities management, which is effectively the running and maintenance of the building itself. It covers absolutely everything. Now, what the book doesn't do, it doesn't cover the environmental science like the previous book, the Randall McMullen book. So to make sure you pass your exam, Unit 1, please get that first book. Get this book, the one we've just looked at. That is going to be absolutely critical to Unit 1. Now, this book here, this will take you all the way through from level 3 right through to master's degree. I mean, it really will. You won't get a master's degree by just using this book, trust me. But it will give you an absolute advantage across all levels. It's a brilliant book to have. Okay, most construction teachers worth their salt will have an edition of this. Me personally, I've got the 8th edition. Okay, I'm happy with that. But this one here, currently it's a 12th edition. I found it on one of those selling websitey thingies for £30. But also on the same site, you can get this ebook for a £5. I mean, come on, a £5. And think about all those images, all those PDF images that you can capture to support your work as well. Absolute fabulous. In fact, the paper book, £30, nah. The ebook, that is worth its weight in gold because of the illustrations that you can use. So what are you waiting for? There's the question mark. Also, we have obviously Solihull College Library, where we have a really good stock of construction books. Relating to more specific areas and disciplines of construction. The environmental science book and the construction book are in stock in our library, but there are only a few books. Okay, so if we've got 300 people on a construction course in our department, the chances are it may be booked out for some time. So make sure that you do get those books. They are so cheap. I mean, if it's fluid mechanics, or you're looking specifically at planning, or you're looking at heating and ventilation, or building regulations you're researching, we've got it in the library. Okay. If there's books in the library that you can't find and that you feel we should have, let me know. Let me know. Steve Linton or Josh Update. Let us know, and we'll put something in to our library department and see if we can get that in stock for you. Okay. But remember, things take time in education, so you might not have any anytime soon. Currently, the library is only available to book online. That's because of obviously the social distancing and COVID measures. So come and see me, Steve Linton, or Josh, on how to access the online library. And by the way, although it's an online library, the books are definitely real. Okay, so they're actual real books. And finally, researching. Just a few tips on researching. when you're researching your specific topic, don't just do time and time again. The students that say this, you ask them to look into something, they type something into the search box, like they might put construction phase plan. They put that into Google, and then they come back and they give up. They go, well, I didn't really find what I was looking for there. And I asked them, well, how many times have you searched? Well, I looked at the first 3 or 4 that came up on page 1 of and I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I give up. I can't do this. So it's really difficult. It's just not good enough. I mean, try rewording your searches. Certainly. So construction phase plan might not come up as you would wish it to, like a big magical ping. So try different wordings. Try different wordings that might lead you there, like the planning of a project, or information needed to begin a project, because this is what construction phase plan basically is. Now, don't give up on the first page of results. Quite often I get really annoyed with the first 2 pages, because a lot of them are ad driven, they're sponsored driven, and they're the usual suspects. They're drenched with Amazon and all sorts of stuff, and it's just really not good. Try and stay away from Wikipedia, please. It's not a good place to go to. The information that you find there is not the best. It can be very accurate, but it can also be misleading, and it can be authored or altered, so I believe. Try going in like page 5 or 9 or 24 or 56. Just try different pages. Why not? Look for the information on pages. I mean, look for unique information. Now, one of the best ways I find to when I'm putting lessons together and I'm putting information together and so on and so forth, one of the things, in fact, most of the time, what I'll do is I'll type searches in and I go straight to images. Absolutely straight to images. And you'll be amazed at how quickly things come straight at you from an image that opens up, and it opens up many more thoughts and ideas by a simple click. And I'm going to show you this. Watch this. So I'm just going to come out of my presentation for a second. Okay. And I'm going to go to, when I can get my mouse to work, there we go. I'm going to go to, I've put in human comfort there. You can see in the search, human comfort. So looking at the usual suspects, I'll come down here and go, okay, find out about the value of thermal comfort in building design. Right, okay, let's have a quick look at that. Oh, well, look at that. It's actually Velux. They're a company. They want you to buy windows from them, but you didn't know that when you was looking at the search. And quite honestly, look at this. It was not a bad drawing, but ultimately it's a bit boring, isn't it? It's a bit boring. Look, parameters influencing thermal comfort. Now we're talking about international service orders, the ergonomics, the activity. I mean, it's boring. It's boring. Why would you want to study this subject if you're going to use things like this? However, let's go back to this search and look at images. So we're looking at human comfort, and we looked at this at the beginning of the slide 1, where it said, the title slide, it said learning aim C1 heat. So click on images. Now look at this. Look at this. I mean, look at that. If I click on that, this is a quick guide, overheating and thermal comfort. There's a great image. It shows airflow, radiant heat, humidity, temperature. What's not to like about that? Let's scroll down. What else have we got? We've got a bit of information from a psychrometric chart here. Look. Some stuff doesn't really ping out at you. That doesn't interest me. That there, I wouldn't know what that is. Look at this. Look at this. Irene Preciado Systems, Sites and Buildings. Now that's probably going to take me to a website that's going to try and sell me something. However, look at that image. That's showing you about human comfort and exactly what I'm looking for you to study. It's got the radiation look, natural convection. We've got the fuel, drink and food, exhalation of warm and moist gases, which I've covered in one of my sessions about exhaling certain things in relative humidity. Forced convection. We've got conduction, look through the ground. Brilliant. So we could click on that. Let's see where it takes us. Okay. So let's see. A lot of information there. Assignment 5, alternative energy pathways. Now, this probably is not the best, have to be honest, but the image is brilliant. The image is absolutely brilliant for what you want. You know, if you want to represent human comfort concerning human comfort, conduction, convection, radiation, what an image to support what you're trying to say. Let's take a look at this. Where we going? Let's keep going. Got another one here, so let's take a look at that. Thermal comfort. Okay, so we've got our solar gain, radiation, heat loss and heat gain, various factors all relative to us, so let's take a quick look at that. Okay, hopefully my internet's going to bring it up. So thermal comfort. What is thermal comfort and why is it so important for the well-being? Well, that's good. Hey, look at this. Air temperature, mean radiant temperature, relative. All of this is actually what your first home study is going to be about with me. It's there. And this is what's covered in the student book, just those things. But this is where the student book stops. It gives brief explanation. But look at this. It goes into a little bit more. Now, one thing about stuff overbroad, we don't really like to see examples of Australia and America and the Congo and so to speak. Try and keep things based in the UK if you can. This is a good image. It's relevant. It's got some good stuff. It might be supportive. And you know what? If I go to one more thing, just about let's say, yeah, why not? Visual comfort. Let's look at visual comfort. Building services. Look. So we've got a video there. Oh, we've got human comfort design guidelines. I don't know what's going to come up on there. Oh, look at this. Look. Look at this. This is what you want. Look at this. Now tell me, where were you going to find this in just a search by saying human comfort, conduction, convection rate? You're not going to find it. But look at this. Oh, that's just, look at it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, Jeff, as they say, for those of you who are big Chris Kamara fans. So human comfort, look, you've got a bit of a forum here that you can work, that, you know, human comfort building services, it goes into information. What a fabulous website. So what do? I'll tell you what you do. You take that you take that there. You can either copy that, okay, and then you can place it onto, let's get it, there we go. There we go. That's going to go into my bibliography. If I use stuff from that website, I can save that. I've already got it. I know where to go. And you know what? If I lose the website, I can always come back here. Let's do this. Look, let's quickly, while we're there, bibliography. Unit 1. Boom. Job done. Save that. Now, every website I go to and I use stuff from there, there's my bibliography. Okay? Or simply, you can just bookmark this page, choose your folder, etc., etc. Job's a good one. You've not only got the link straight to the website, but you've got the bookmarks as well. And you might see stuff in here. Let's scroll down. I'll scroll back up. You might see stuff in here that will send you to other areas. What we got here, case study of School of Planning and Architecture, and you think, well, yeah, there's some good stuff there. Look at this case study. What information's about it? So I can take a look there. The buildings. Oh, this is interesting. Right, I'm going to bookmark this. I'm going to come back to that because I'm doing a unit on planning. You get the idea. You get the idea. All right. So going back to this, I'm not going to pull up. That's the last slide. But just make sure that when you're searching online that you don't just give up on the first page. It's ridiculous. It doesn't show commitment. Just honestly, the best search in the world is searching with your eyes. When you see something that catches your eye, like I've just shown you there, you just get lost in it. You find so much stuff. So much stuff. Remember to bookmark them. And remember, if you're having any problems with home study, access to laptops, it could be access to internet, and so don't just say nothing. That's not helpful to you or to anybody. Come and speak to me or Josh. All right, and we'll see what we can do to help. But remember, home study is just as critical as it is to attending college, attending lectures, making submissions on time. It's just as important. Let's get you through that exam. All right? Okay. Now, remember one more thing. What am I going to say? Answer the question. Give the question back.